Episode 29, cutscene combos. See, Hori always tries to catch me off guard with just and we're recording, but this time I'm ready.
I gave you plenty of warning this time.
Yeah, you did. I just like to moan about stuff. I don't know. Ears to our ears.
Yeah.
It is wild, by the way, that we are now at 29 episodes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's wild. It's already August.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year's disappearing.
Mm-hmm. Before we know it, we're going to be doing the Secret Wars episode.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say before we know it, we're going to be on episode 52.
See, I was really excited for episode 52 because that was going to be exactly a year, but it's not going to be exactly a year now because we missed episodes. But, I mean, it's still going to be exciting when we get there.
Oh, yeah.
50 will now be more exciting for me.
Is that the 1 year mark?
Well, no, it's just a nicer number.
Oh, okay.
Like, 50 is like a general kind of
yeah.
landmark.
True.
But anyway, how's your week been, Harry?
It's been degenerate. It's probably the easiest way to put it. Playing Rust. Rust took over my life last week, though also doing work on the side.
You had time to do work?
Yeah. It was only there wasn't a lot going on because so KCP obviously played in Worlds. They won their first game on day one. Then next 2 days they lost their games, but on literally rounds being lost in overtime, like golden goal moments. Like the amount of times where the other team went up a game just because they scored with like 5 seconds left or in OT or so it's like it was just super close games, unfortunately. But we got it to 2-2, which meant we didn't get knocked out straight away on the last day of wildcard. And then our last game, unfortunately, was against SSG, who were like one of the best teams that was in wildcard. Unfortunately for us, the first 2 days, one of their players was ill. And like mid-series was having to pause the series to go throw up and come back. So like they'd played badly the first couple of days, so ended up in the lower side of it. Which unfortunately then meant we bumped into them. Which unfortunately is what it is. And
yeah, nothing like one of the best teams falling down because of a bookie reason, and then you bump into them at the worst possible time.
So unfortunately we didn't make it out of wildcard. But this was the 3 lads, this was their first season of Rocket League. They got to Worlds. They won 2 of their regionals. They went to Winter Major in LA. They went to the Spring Major in London. They went to Worlds. Like they had an incredible first season. So as heartbreaking as it was, also great run from them. But then things have quietened off a little bit with work. It's usual posts, sort of like post-LAN quietness. But yeah, other than that, I've just been playing Rust. How's your week been?
My week's been kind of hectic.
Opposite
so, yeah, so I got my new tattoo started on Monday, which was like the longest I've sat for a tattoo so far. It was like 3 hours straight. And loads of you out there who have tattoos will be aware, but like, so obviously like the bony parts and where the skin's thin hurts the most naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But also that tends to be like around like your wrist joints and stuff. And you'll notice that none of my tattoo is actually that close to my wrist joint. But there's this weird kind of sensation when you're being tattooed where like this bit, all this stuff here feels like he's drilling straight into the bone.
It's close enough.
Yeah, and like the same down here, like around my elbow. So like there were some really uncomfortable bits, but I mean, it's a tattoo. It's not. You're getting stabbed consistently for 3 hours. It's not going to tickle.
No, it's not.
So yeah, so just in the stages of healing that up. Yeah, it's not got itchy yet. That'll probably happen tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And then I'm back in October to get it finished.
Okay, so not too long.
Yeah, hopefully he gets a weekend cancellation a little bit sooner than that, but if not, October it is. And then I mean work is just manic at the minute with just lots going on. So it's like really quick days, but because I don't have a second to breathe, because it's just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
But we're getting through. Birthday party this weekend for my sister. And then it should roll on to next week. I mean, Spiderman comes out tomorrow. I'm very excited. People who watch podcasts regularly will know for like last 8 episodes potentially. I've been going, we're getting closer. We're nearly there.
Like a
and
kid
we're finally
waiting
there.
for Christmas.
So here's the thing, and I've only just realised this.
Okay.
But there is a thing. I've just realised I still have a Spider-Man Halloween costume that fits me in my wardrobe.
I know what you're going to say.
There's a real temptation to wear it for the Spider-Man stream on Friday night. And just like fully embrace being Spider-Man.
I mean, whatever you want to do for content.
It would be content. I've been waiting so long for this game, Harry. Do you not remember I almost bought a PS5 solely to play this game?
True, you did.
In fact, had I not lost my job, I probably would have bought a PS5 just to play this game.
I have one counter to you wearing your Spider-Man outfit, though. What about your tattoo?
Oh, shit. I can make it work. Okay.
Because you don't want it. I wasn't sure if...
It's at the stage now where like you can touch it without it hurting. So like fabric sitting on it wouldn't be too bad. It's not like a super itchy material.
Depends how sweaty you're getting it.
Also true. It is very warm in the UK still.
Heatwave 2.0.
Yeah. And it's going to be late at night when my PC's already been on for a couple of hours editing. I probably won't be in the mood to put it on anymore. I'll probably be hitting go live at like 10 o'clock at night. Like,
probably like, here's my Spider-Man cup instead.
Yeah, it's going to be purely vibes. It's not going to be like me like proper, but it's just going to be vibey because it's going to be so late at night by the time I actually go live.
I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself.
So, moving on to the character profile.
Yes.
You won't have realised this because you were being a degen.
Oh.
In the original notes I sent to you, I changed the character profile like 4 times.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I will say, today when I looked at it again, I was like, I don't feel like this was Ghost Rider, but I don't really remember what it was, so it must have been.
So I was going to do Titania, who is going to be in She-Hulk.
Oh, is that the one that breaks into the...
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I started reading up on her and I was like, wow, this character's got a lot more backstory to her than I realised. And I can't be asked to try and break that down without having seen any of She-Hulk yet.
Fair.
So she'll probably be next week or the week after. But then I remembered on the internet, there was a little still in one of the shorts where people were like, hey, yo, that's a poster for Johnny Blaze in the background.
Yep.
So I thought, fuck it. If this works and Johnny Blaze does make a cameo, or even gets like willfully acknowledged, I'm gonna look like a genius.
Just gonna be ahead of the curve.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes you just got to say outrageous shit and hope that it pays
sticks.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Johnny Blaze, aka the Ghost Rider, first appeared in the Marvel Spotlight number 5 all the way back in May 1972. He's almost as old as Horizontal.
Okay, that was uncalled for.
So Johnny Blaze is originally a stuntman.
Right.
And not in the sense of he did it for films like Evel Knievel style. He rode his bike and jumped over cars and shit. And basically, his stepfather, or I guess surrogate father's more accurate because I don't believe at the time he knew that it wasn't his actual dad.
Okay.
Was dying, and he made a deal with Mephisto to save his life. He sold his soul.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
And as a result of that, as part like on his side of the deal, he became the host of Zarathos, the Spirit of Vengeance. So basically, Zarathos and Mephisto are enemies.
Yeah.
And Mephisto tricked him into becoming less powerful by trapping him in human hosts.
Right. Got you.
So what Mephisto does is he goes around collecting souls so that when someone dies, he has essentially a new prison cell for Zarathos.
Got you.
And I mean that's what the Ghost Rider is. He is Punisher-esque in the sense of he kills. He's more of an anti-hero than a hero or villain, I'd say. One of his big things is the penance stare, in which he looks into the soul of the person, and if it is an evil person, their soul will eat them alive, and it kind of like burns them from the inside out.
That's fun.
Really fun fact about that: Ghost Rider tried to use the penance stare on Punisher.
Oh.
Who, of course, has killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
But because the Punisher is so devout in believing that he does the right thing,
didn't work.
It had no effect on him.
What a big Chad energy.
Imagine killing that many people but being so convinced you're in the right. Like, even like mystical magic is just like, nah, Donnie's clear. It's good.
He's telling the truth.
He must be doing the right thing. He's so sure of it.
Yeah.
But here's the really interesting thing about the tease of Johnny Blaze. We've got Moon Knight.
Yeah.
We've got Blade.
Yeah. We've got Black Knight. I don't know if that.
We've got reason to believe that Punisher could be coming back,
which we will talk about later.
Yeah. As well as just like Marvel taking on the Netflix characters. But we've got reason to believe Punisher's coming back. Johnny Blaze would be the fourth member of the Midnight Suns that I would expect to see Marvel adapt. So him being kind of teased and potentially mentioned outright would very easily fit into my idea of Phase 6 is going to have a Midnight Suns project.
Yeah. Which I think we both agree on.
Yeah. And now that we know a bit more about all that stuff, I'm convinced that they're setting up at the moment to have two sets of the MCU. I don't mean two sets as in they don't matter to each other, but I mean the films, which is going to be dealing with high level stuff for the more casual people who don't want to watch 12,000 TV shows and 20 different movies, which some people don't, and that's fine. Enjoy content however you want to enjoy it. And then you got people like me and Hori who are like, "Hey yo, we need stuff to talk about, Donnie."
New Marvel
they're gonna do a lot of street level stuff,
which I'm down for.
And don't get me wrong, there will be crossover.
Oh yeah.
And what they'll probably try really hard to do is make it so that if you've watched the street level stuff, you're like, there's like little payoffs for it in the films, but you can watch films without having to worry about the street level stuff.
Yeah.
I think Midnight Suns is mainly going to be kind of like what was the really old show? You probably watched it when you were a little bit younger. X-Files.
Yeah, I know what X-Files is.
Yeah. I never watched it, which is probably like really bad for my nerd cred.
I didn't watch a lot of it, but I definitely watched some of it.
Yeah. So I wonder if they might go for like an X-Files kind of thing, but that's why I thought it was worth mentioning Johnny Blaze. Obviously, the Ghost Rider films are out there. The first one I really enjoyed. The second one I don't enjoy. They're not perfect films, but they're watchable.
Yeah, and it's been so long since I've watched them. I don't even really remember the second one.
Yeah. So with Blade and Moon Knight being there and ready to go, us having positive reason to think that the Punisher might not be too far away, as well as teases for Johnny Blaze.
Yeah,
we want a Midnight Suns project. I have plenty of reasons to be excited. Pardon me.
Yeah, there's Marvel's doing their usual thing of pointing at a potential upcoming show or group, which they've done plenty of times in the past. So I think it's safe to assume we might get something. But I think you're right in the sense it will be more street level, and I think you'll get like the payoff for the people that watch the shows will be these characters will show up in the films, but whatever they show up in the films won't matter what they've done in the shows. Like, it won't play a huge part in what's going on.
Unless Marvel do genuinely believe that they've got so much of the world by the balls that we will watch literally everything.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, they've got us by the balls like that, so maybe there's more people out there.
I'm
My
sure there
name
is.
is Optimus Prime. And if you can hear me...
Just a broadcast.
I'm really proud of that reference. I'm just going to give myself a second there to be happy with that. I thought that was really funny.
Shame those films fell off.
Such a shame.
Such a strong start for the Transformers series, but like many things, just
got a buff before he lost his mind. Megan Fox. They were so good.
The first 3, I would say, were decent, and then it just got dragged out too far.
Yeah. And it's a shame because Transformers is an elite franchise.
Oh, yeah.
But we've also got too much on our plate. We couldn't handle a full-on Transformers franchise at the same time.
Can you imagine?
Brother. I'm barely keeping my head above water as it is. Can we not? But going on to other reasons to think about the Midnight Suns coming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to go out, and I'm going to say this before this. She has since said...
Tried to backtrack.
Yeah, she's tried to backtrack on this. Doesn't necessarily mean that she wasn't telling the truth.
Yep.
It might just mean she got an email from a Mr. Kevin Feige going, Ayo, do you like your head being attached to your body? Shut the fuck up.
Don't even think it'd be... I reckon it was a publicist that was probably there with her that was like...
But anyway, Rosario Dawson...
Yeah.
Who was in the Netflix shows as the Night Nurse, and kind of was used as a key character in integrating the 4 stories before the Defenders.
Yep.
Said that the Punisher's coming back soon. And
she'd love to play a part in it.
Yeah. She said, we've got the Punisher coming back and I hope to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Very... as if it was common knowledge.
Yeah, she said it in a way of like... people knew the Punisher was also a show coming back.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a slip of the tongue and she meant Daredevil, or if she had a Gwyneth Paltrow moment and didn't know what was common knowledge and what wasn't. Or if she's just really out of touch and someone said, Ayo, Punisher's coming back, and she didn't fact check it at all.
I wonder if she's heard on her end that they're bringing Daredevil and Punisher back, and obviously they've announced Daredevil now, and she just kind of presumed, oh, well, Daredevil got announced, and I got told them both at the same time.
What I will say is, John Berthnell, who played the Punisher, has always been very vocal about the fact he's only coming back if he gets to do the Punisher properly, like they did at Netflix.
Yeah.
So if we get a Punisher...
it's going to be a proper Punisher.
Something announced at D23 and John Berthnell comes out on stage, I'm going to be bricked up for a week straight.
Do you know what they should do? At D23, they should have Charlie Cox do like a little Daredevil Born Again thing. He's on stage, and then just have John come out.
Yeah.
And just have the 2 of them on stage.
Do we actually know when D23 is?
September?
When is D23?
I think it's September.
September 9th, 10th, and 11th.
There you go. Obviously not all Marvel.
You mean it's not 3 days of Marvel content?
I wish.
I'm absolutely livid.
Unfortunately, Disney does have some of their own content.
I mean, to be fair, there's probably going to be some Star Wars stuff in there as well, which we also
Yeah, there probably will be.
We'll probably get like a day and a half of that stuff dedicated to what we care about.
But yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty... I would say that was a pretty strong slip of the tongue, and she knows something. Whether it's her agent has heard word, or mentioned it to her, or what. She's obviously heard something and presumed they both had been announced.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say she done fucked up.
Yeah, but it's not Marvel's first rodeo with that stuff, so, I mean...
They won't talk about it. It will survive a news cycle, and everyone will have forgotten about it.
Yeah, everyone will go, oh, we think they'll get to the point where it's been long enough that everyone will go, well, we think we're getting Punisher back. People will lose that certainty.
Yeah.
And then it's fine.
Yeah, you're right. People kind of hear a leak like that, and they're like, "Oh my god, Marvel will announce it right now," just so like they still get to announce it. It's like, no, they'll just wait for dickheads to forget and start doubting yourself.
Yeah, they wait till they release something so everyone starts talking about something new and forgets about Punisher coming.
Exactly.
And then they'll do it, and everyone will go, oh, wait, the leak was right.
Exactly.
So yeah. But fingers crossed, if it's like the Netflix Punisher, it's going to be good.
Fuck yeah, brother. Next up.
I swear this isn't a weekly segment of us. I'm going to preface this out. We really do like DC and Sony and Warner Brothers.
They just make it so hard. They do so
great.
Hard.
They do great films.
But so Ezra Miller has been charged with felony burglary.
Hasn't he been detained?
Well, I mean, he's been charged. I'm pretty sure you have to be detained to be charged.
So they've found him.
Don't quote me on that, but that was my understanding. Now this might just be because my geography of America is not great. I read it was New England, but I've also read it was Vermont, and I don't know if like one's inside the other.
I have no
idea. But
I don't know.
Yeah, either way, he's been charged with felony burglary. And it like obviously it is what it is. The guy's gone off the deep end big time. My question is, and it kind of comes from a funny tweet I saw. I saw a funny tweet that said, "This film really got to be fire if Warner Brothers still aren't going to cancel it after all the shit Ezra's done."
Okay, have you not seen what the 3 options apparently Warner Brothers are
weighing up are?
Yes.
I did see it, but I don't have them in front of me. So if you want to read them out to the audience, go for it.
Well, apparently option 1 that they're considering is they get Ezra Miller to go on press and do a statement/apology. And they carry on as normal. How they think that's a fucking option, I don't know.
Yeah.
Second option, Ezra does no press, they recast and reshoot. And then option 3 is they just scrap the whole film.
Oh, they're not recasting and reshooting at this point.
And I don't believe they can get away with a statement and an apology.
It's gone so long without them just dropping the film. I don't think they're going to do it now. I don't think that. Oh, do you know what I think they do? I think they ignore Ezra Miller. They release the film. They hope it does okay, and then they cut his ass on recast. But they're not going to talk about it because what they don't want to do is they don't want to go, "We are recasting the Flash," and because you got to remember we're plugged in a different way. There are going to be a lot of people who don't know what he's doing. Yeah. What they don't want to do is let them people know what he's doing.
So it ruins box office.
Yeah. They're like, we'll just make our money. There's nothing we can do now. The film's been filmed, edited. It's literally ready to go. We'll cut ties with him, but not officially because we don't want people to know about it just yet. We'll get the film out. It will do good because it's a good film and they clearly very much believe in this project. Then once it's out, they'll go, "We are recasting." And then everyone who hasn't seen anything will see what he's done and go, "Oh, good on Warner Brothers for recasting."
Honestly, at this point, I want them to just scrap it and scrap everything and just start fresh.
I don't. And hear me out on this.
Okay.
Is the person who's the face of the film becoming an absolute dickhead and breaking the law and being a problem a good enough reason to not show the work of hundreds, if not thousands of people that they've worked really hard on?
True. Ideally, I'd love them to recast and reshoot, but
I'm going to do what I normally struggle with, which is separating the art from the artist. I'm going to go watch it. I'm going to watch it as if, like, I'm not going to let, like, maybe a little bit of bad acting from him, like, justify me giving him a slew of abuse. I'm going to try and enjoy it, and then I'm going to go, okay, that was good, that was bad, whatever. Change the actor now. Because here's the thing, if the writing is good enough, Ezra Miller is not such a good actor that they can't find someone else who can do the job.
Oh yeah, no. I think they can recast fine.
While they've been a brilliant actor in many films, they are not so good that they are unreplaceable. But I will go and I will watch and I will enjoy the film. Hopefully, as long as it's actually a good film. Because other people have worked really hard on this.
Well, yeah, obviously. I guess if the whole Flashpoint reset thing that we've heard many times now, that this is what it's going to be, they can play that into like why, like one reason of recasting him, obviously, or like at least making it feel like it makes sense when there's a new face. Yeah. But I definitely don't think they could get away with just doing an apology statement and still have him do a press run and stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%. The only way, if they're adamant they're not like,
is release and recast, and don't have him do press.
Yeah, is just pretend he does not fucking exist.
Yeah, he probably won't get any money out of it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go out right now and go. However, DC, if you are looking to recast the Flash, I am available. I am a little bit chubby right now. However, if I had time to dedicate to becoming the Flash,
get on one of them superhero trainers. It's fine.
I'm not doing drugs, and I will not be doing drugs.
Not what I said. I didn't say anything of the sort.
I will just drop some weight because the Flash can look scrawny as fuck. It's not a problem. His job is to run. But I love the character. I try very hard. Can't do an American accent. I'm sure I can learn though.
This could be their opportunity to take the TV show Flash.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. While I love it, it's too late. He's doing his 12th and final series of the Flash right now. Let the man rest.
Let the man play someone else.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. If he was, yeah, if it was earlier on, then.
Also, sorry, and this is a complete fucking rumor with no weight whatsoever. I'm purely saying it'd be interesting if that does happen, or how cool would it be? So take this more as like a fan theory kind of idea of how cool than a credible rumor. Apparently Marvel want to get the Justice League cast, but Grant Gustin in for Ezra Miller to do cameos in Secret War as another version of the Avengers.
Fucking hell, that'd be wild.
So Affleck as Iron Man, Cavill as America, Momoa as Thor.
Imagine.
Gustin as Spiderman. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that's a credible source at all. I think that's one of these guys going, oh, wouldn't that be really cool? And they're like reporting it as a rumor instead of just going, I would like it if Marvel considered blah, blah, blah. But it's just a cool thing to think about, and that would get such a large pop. But it would be pure fan service, which again, a good amount is always worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, keeping on the theme of DC and interesting decisions.
See, I can't remember exactly what we said when we heard this rumor ages ago. I don't think we went, this has got to be bullshit. I think we went, I'd be surprised if it was.
Yeah, we were like, we'd be surprised, but we also can believe that someone was like jokingly suggested, and they're like, actually, that's a good idea, let's do that. I think it's the stance we took.
Yeah. So, Joker 2, A Folie de Gras, or whatever it's called, has confirmed Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn, and that it is going to be a musical set in Arkham Asylum, set around Dr. Harleen Quinzel falling in love with her patient, Arthur Fleck.
Why a musical? Like, I'm fine with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, whatever. Like, interesting casting choice, but sure.
Okay, so hear me out.
Why a musical though?
Years ago, DC said they were going to start doing Black Label films.
Yeah.
Which were going to be one-shot films separate from the DCU continuity, where they just had fun, tried stuff, and they let directors and writers have a bit of artistic license.
Yeah.
Joker was announced as a Black Label project, but they seem to have dropped the whole Black Label thing altogether now.
Yeah.
But it was a Black Label project. And it was quite artistic and different, and it was great. It was a really, really enjoyable film. I just think they're trying to keep that spirit of let's try stuff alive. And I don't hate that they're trying stuff. I'm just really nervous about DC's track record and this very out there concept.
Yeah, and also just the like choice to do it on a sequel. Like if this was the first Joker film, that was the standalone. It should
have been a musical trilogy.
I'm not saying that. But like, look at this. Like, if this was the first one of these, like, it wasn't Joker 2. This was Joker 1. It's a black label. We knew it was standalone. They were like, it's a musical Joker. Everyone will be like, okay, this is going to be interesting. But it's the sequel now becoming a musical kind of throws me off.
Okay, so just as a counterpoint to that, if you remember, in the first film, music was actually a very big part of it, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't a full-on musical.
No, but like you had the scene with him dancing down the stairs. You had the bit at the very end where he was dancing around to music that he could. It's kind of in a weird way like they were hinting that he could hear music in the first.
I mean,
is this just an extension of that?
Possibly, and they're just calling it a musical, but it's actually not like what we think of a musical.
Yeah, and it might not be that aggressive of a musical. It might have 6 or 7 musical numbers in a 2 hour.
Yeah, they could just be trying to throw people off by calling it a musical, but it's actually kind of just the same.
Yeah, it is technically a musical, but it's quite soft in how much music and singing and dancing there is. But you've also got to remember, it's clearly going to be quite, although it's obviously going to have its moments, it's going to have big themes of romance.
Yeah.
Which are always part of musicals.
True. It's definitely going to be.
Work.
It might.
I'm just very skeptical.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, I want it to work so badly. Because it'd be a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it does work. And maybe that's because I'm not creative enough.
And maybe it's because we don't trust Warner Brothers enough.
I think that's a big thing.
But yeah, it could work, and it could actually be quite an enjoyable film to watch. I'm just a bit nervous about it because it feels out there in the way they're portraying what it's going to be like.
It's very out there.
But it's like they could be over portraying what it's going to be, and it's actually not as out there as they're making out it's going to be. But yeah, DC in there and Warner Brothers were there. Interesting decisions.
But I mean, apparently when they were having their meeting about HBO Max and chopping Batgirl off the block and how they were reorganizing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Apparently they're looking to restart the DCEU and put in place a proper 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I think it's actually going to be worse.
I haven't even looked at what it might be.
Because of anything other than the second you sit down and go, I'm going to plan for the next 10 years, off the rip, you're fucked. Marvel didn't have a 10-year plan on day one of Iron Man.
No. I think they had a loose...
They had a idea and a hope that they could get to an Avengers film.
Yeah, I think they had a very loose phase 1 plan of, let's do an Iron Man film. If it does well, we'll do like Captain America and Hulk. Like we'll do 4. Like these are the characters we want to try and do if it's successful. I think you're right. DC is being very optimistic if they're going to try and plan it. But them saying they're doing a 10-year plan could be them being like, okay, look, this is what we want to try and get to. Hopefully it's a loose 10-year plan.
You never know. Maybe they're confident in saying it's going to be a 10-year plan because they know that the market still wants superhero content.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like me and you sitting down on day one of deciding to do this channel and going, right, here is the plan for how we get to subscribers.
Yeah. It's like, here's...
And that's not what we did.
This is what we want for episode 100.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's a loose plan, and hopefully them having a plan is better than no plan at the same time.
It's nice to know they're actually engaging their brain.
Because we've said many times that we'd love if they just kind of took a page out of MCU's book and had like a bit of a joined film plan, like everything felt like it was linked, and put a bit more effort into that. And if that's what they're doing now, hopefully it gives us something good. Hopefully.
This is gonna throw you off a bit here.
Oh.
More DC stuff.
Okay.
So HBO Max and Discovery Plus are merging.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a bunch of cuts, including Batgirl.
Yeah.
And people got very worried that the Green Lantern series that we were told we were getting like 2 years ago, seemed to have disappeared. And everyone was like, oh no, have they cut that as well? Because, I mean, the Green Lanterns and all of the Lanterns should be their own fucking universe.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much deep lore, which is just fascinating. And I was really hoping we were going to get something good. And everyone kind of got a bit nervous, like, oh no, has it been cut? Good news. It hasn't been cut. The series is still in development, but the writers have come forward and gone, it's going to be a while because we're trying to make sure we do it right after how you guys got screwed over last time.
Yeah, no CGI suits, please. Yeah.
The Green Lanterns are brilliant, interesting characters. We want to do them justice. And it looks like they're going to be focusing on Guy Gardner and Alan Scott, which is really interesting. Because as far as I know, Alan Scott isn't a traditional Green Lantern. Oh, no. Sorry. Is an old school Green Lantern. As in, not related to the Green Lantern Corps, and his weakness is wood.
Oh. Interesting.
So I'm really curious about that. But anyway, if like me, you are really fascinated by Green Lanterns and just the Lantern Corps in general, never fear. The project is still being worked on. They're just trying to take their time to make sure it's done right.
Which is better than it being cut.
100%, always.
Rather things take a while than be rushed.
As someone who pre-ordered Cyberpunk, I have executed Infinite Patience before, and I will do it again. As someone who played GTA 5 on release, and was like, as they finished the story, oh boy, I can't wait for the next GTA, and has now owned it on 4 different consoles. I know Infinite Patience.
As someone who once played a good Call of Duty, I have experienced extreme patience, as I'm still waiting for another good Call of Duty.
They really made the best Call of Duty ever, Advanced Warfare, and just dipped.
That really was the last good one. Black Ops 4 was alright, I suppose.
Yeah, Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 were fine.
Anyway.
Next up. To you. Oh yeah, and more good news for people who have very strong feelings about fictional characters. Scarlet Witch's solo film, Scarlet Witch and the Children's Crusade, rumored to be one of the 2 projects between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Now, we have to presume that's her finding her kids, right?
I don't really know. Because here's my thing. That kind of whole arc of her being obsessed with her kids kind of seemed like it ended strange.
Or is it her children finding her?
Or is it just now she's actually had kids?
Maybe. I wonder...
And it'll probably be renamed before, like, it actually comes out.
I wonder, because we talked about a Young Avengers film or show. Shit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could actually be a tie-in with her building the Young Avengers. Or something.
Yeah. Or the kids... Her kids team up with the Young Avengers stars, and that's them trying to find...
In the comics, her kids were on the Young Avengers.
Yeah. So it's like... Maybe they're trying to find their mum in the Scarlet Witch. Maybe. Because we don't know what happened to her. So...
it's an interesting one for sure.
One of the unannounced projects rumored. It's the first one.
Yeah.
And I don't actually think either of us had Scarlet Witch as one of our options.
No, I thought they were going to play off on her being dead for a bit longer.
So did I. I thought that
that anyone really believed that she died.
I thought her kids might come into it with the whole Young Avengers thing. But I didn't think we get Scarlet Witch.
But I mean, the hardcore Scarlet Witch fans have been begging for a solo film for eons.
True.
Let's just hope they don't get the Black Widow treatment of too little, too late.
Yeah, hopefully they don't go back and do like a back in time, fill a gap.
I think they've realised that is not the way to do things.
Hopefully. But
what else we got here? Oh, we got our first leaked look at the Ironheart armor.
Yes, which I think people are presuming is Mark II.
I think that's the one we're going to see in the actual Ironheart TV show.
Yes, or at the end of Black Panther.
Yeah, I think we'll see her making it in the post-credit scene.
Possibly, yeah.
So, unless there's like some big like Kang tease at the end of it.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think that is because it was leaked photos from filming. So I mean, Black Panther's done, so it would make sense that that's the Ironheart series, and like maybe they're just starting. So I think what we'll see is Mark 1 suit in Black Panther, maybe a tease of her starting to make Mark 2. I thought the suit looked sick.
I really like it.
I definitely saw some comments of people going, "Oh, it's very bulky. This ain't it."
I mean, people complained when they made the Iron Man armor thinner.
Yeah, but then people are like, "Are you forgetting what Iron Man started as and how it slendered down? Like, give it chance. There's gonna be progression of suits," which I think shut up a lot of people. So I thought it looked cool. I'm excited to see, but we've got a while to wait for that. Because the Ironheart series isn't for a while, unless we get teased in Black Panther.
See, people are convinced this is Mark II. I don't think we see her in a full-on in Wakanda.
I think we do. I think we see her in a very rough and ready, like the cave suit that Iron Man did.
I think we see her closer to, you know, in Aliens, the big fucking robot thing that she uses to fight off the alien. That's like open and it's just like for moving stuff.
Yeah.
I see it as more something like that. She grabs a bunch of tech and kind of straps it to her arms instead of it actually being a suit that she puts on, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, how many weapons can I get on my body right this instant?
My only reason for thinking it's a bit more of a suit is because she's in Wakanda. So she has the tech to make it. I think it will definitely be more like personal side projects, so it's a lot more rough and ready. And I think it'll be something she's working on, and we get kind of teased in Black Panther, and then in whatever big fight near the end, she's like, let's crack it out and try it. And it kind of does what the Mark 1 Iron Man did, which was like fought its way out of a cave and then fell apart.
Yeah.
It would be something like that. But yeah, classic MCU leaks happening already.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how we get on with the Ruby Williams stuff, because I'm very excited for her personally.
As am I.
I kind of said this earlier, but Spiderman is finally here 4 years later. Spiderman 2018, first ever playthrough in 2022.
I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about next week.
Well, here's the thing, right? So it comes out on Friday. Yes. And I'm like literally doing my pre-download of it right now, which is freaking hilarious. Oh, it's actually finished. Pog.
Oh, nice. Pog.
So it's ready to go. But Fridays, I obviously edit when I get in from work. So I'm going to like get in, edit like a fucking madman, eat my dinner, probably edit a little bit more just to make sure I'm good. Then I'll probably start streaming like 9, 10 o'clock, but Jenna's not home tomorrow night.
Pog.
So I don't need to worry about getting into bed at 2, 3 a.m. and disturbing her.
Pog.
But here's the problem, Hori. You know what my hope focus can be like. So if I know I don't need to worry about disturbing someone, as long as I'm not screaming and waking up other people in the house, I legit could end up playing through till like 6, 7 a.m.
So you'll be going to bed when I am.
there's more problems. Because Saturday is my sister's birthday party.
Oh, sounds like you're pulling an all-nighter then.
In which case, I'm going to probably be asked to do stuff to help out during the day.
Oh, good luck with that.
And then be out all night at said party.
God, imagine having a social
And then
life.
I'm still going to want to have enough energy on the Sunday to
play
play more and stream more of it.
Imagine having a social life.
So for the first time since I was like 15, we might be pulling a weekend-long no-sleep sesh. Just be very aware that I could be going live 1 a.m. Sunday morning after a party or very drunk just to swing around New York City.
I respect it.
And during that time, like, I've also got to find time to do all of the editing, not just enough editing to get me through.
That's my problem with Rust, finding the time to get it done.
But I mean, I'm just gonna absolutely plug it. Twitch.tv/Conor Knight or my YouTube channel, which should be linked down below, unless I've removed it.
Wow. Yeah, replaced it with my own.
Our link trays both down there, but my Twitch isn't in my link tray, I don't think. So if you want to watch someone experience it for the first time, or if you just want to come and tell me how bad a superhero I am, go for it. I cannot wait to play this game. It's literally been 4 years in the making.
Can't wait to see you fail on a swing and slam into the side of a building.
I can't wait to hate it and then go to Twitter and go, "You're a fucking dumbasses if you think this is a good Spider-Man game."
Just could be the complete opposite of what you expected.
I'm just gonna come out swinging like anyone who likes this game knows nothing about Spider-Man.
No, I'm sure you'll love it.
No. The amount of people who like this game, as well as some people whose opinions I do actually value, makes me pretty confident that it is as good as it looks.
Also, coming out, I suppose it's next Thursday. I was thinking
a week today.
A week today. She-Hulk, finally. We've talked about it for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
We're finally there.
We got a couple more teasers. They did
we've had some little bits.
They did a fun thing on Twitter with a little secret pictures
going around at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, of doing the hiding. Because of the way Twitter crops a photo, you can plan for it.
Yeah.
And they hid stuff, and we got our first look at kind of Daredevil close up, not just like him jumping
in his red and yellow.
In his red and yellow, same mask, which he instantly
sick.
He does look sick, and obviously because of that, everyone's like, "Oh, it's Netflix guy then," because it's same mask, same design.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it is, but yeah, most likely. Here's what I've said since the beginning. They're going to do. They're going to take the Netflix stuff, and what they want to be canon will be canon, and what they don't want to be canon will not be canon. And what they will say, if anyone asks, is they'll go, "That happened in a different universe. Our universe is Matt Murdock, etc., etc."
It was very close.
Was very similar. And here's the thing: in infinite universes, there are going to be 2 universes that are basically identical, except the only difference is I had a burger for dinner tonight and not what I actually had, and that's the only difference. That's how infinite works.
That was also explained in Loki. Like, one thing caused a variance that they didn't want. Like, one small change, like a world can be identical and then those 2 worlds are the same, but one decision by one person changed it into a different universe.
And here's the thing, there are some decisions that don't have a butterfly effect. I know butterfly effects are really fun, like storytelling devices, but some things don't have butterfly effects.
So they'll play around it fine. Yeah. But the suit looks sick.
My opinion for anyone who didn't watch the Netflix stuff originally but wants to watch it to catch up, watch it. But watch it.
Take it loosely.
Yeah. Imagine you're being retold the story and some details might not be correct. But for the most part, it's probably going to be fine and you're not going to have to worry about what's true and what's not.
It's going to be like the main characters and the main big plot points will probably get kept. Anything in between is kind of like did or didn't happen.
Exactly.
But this is like a small detail, but you can tell that it's Charlie Cox because he does like the same head tilt because obviously he's trying to listen. It's like someone compared it to him from Netflix, and it's like the exact same pose that he always does, and it's just nice to see again.
I cannot wait. he's up there as one of my favorite castings. And I really hope that the work being done with Daredevil as a character by Marvel is just as good writing wise as what he had to work with at Netflix, and it really allows him to be the best version of that character like we know he can be.
Yeah. But the only other MCU thing, fun little thing.
You forget something, pal.
Wait, what?
The new clip we watched literally before we started.
Yeah, my brain's already forgot that.
Yeah. A new
Welcome to my world.
Clip has been released, literally like 2 hours. No, but here's the thing: for the first time ever, we actually got this before we recorded, instead of hitting finish and recording, opening up Twitter and going, "Damn it, we could have spoken about that," and you still tried to move on without talking about it.
Do you know what's even worse? I opened this section by saying we got a couple of new things, and I only talked about one of them. Man, my brain is so broken.
So basically, the new clip we got is Jen and Bruce in the car just before the car accident that gives Jen her powers.
Having a little chat.
Yeah, and we've got to remember, this is being billed as a sitcom.
Yeah.
So don't expect it to be constant go, 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 go. There's going to be moments that are kind of stupid, and that's how sitcoms work. But basically, they're in the car, and Jen is explaining using evidence. Basically, I think it's a lot of threads I've seen on Twitter as well, which is probably what's inspired it, of her basically grilling Bruce on how Steve Rogers is definitely a virgin. Because the man was scrawny and unattractive, got yoked on government steroids, went straight to war, went straight in the ice, came straight out of the ice, went straight back to war, then didn't stop fighting.
Was a fugitive, then was fighting.
A fugitive, more fighting.
Lost all his friends and was fighting on his own.
Yeah, and then has gone back in time to be with Peggy. Obviously, she doesn't know that. No one really knows that. He just kind of disappeared, as far as they're concerned. So she's like, so he's like a virgin, right? And Bruce is like cracking up laughing because obviously it's really funny.
And he's just like, "Oh, you're just reiterating all the things I've told you already about my colleague."
Yeah. At which point, a spaceship,
like purple and gold looking spaceship.
Yeah, it also kind of had like a Wakandan ship vibes.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's post blip. We don't know how advanced technology is now. That might not actually be like an alien spaceship. That should be a government ship.
It could be. But yeah, not one I think we've seen. Like, we haven't seen anything like it before.
It's a literal UFO. It's an unidentified flying object.
It's a literal UFO.
That kind of does it shoot with them?
No, it's just hovering there.
She panics, doesn't she?
Yeah, because it's taking up the whole road, so she swerves out the way and then goes off the road.
Yeah,
women drivers, am I right?
So yeah, she then swerves off the road, and the clip ends with just them going flying into a ditch.
Yeah, which, from what we've previously heard, is how they're going to do the whole blood transfer.
Bruce bleeds into one of her open wounds, and she gets his blood.
So
let me have a look. So this is purple and gold. It gives me big Wakanda vibes. Purple and gold. Maybe someone stole a Wakandan ship and agreed with Thanos.
Possibly, or
maybe it's someone trying to kill Bruce.
Yeah, it could be It could be anything.
It could be one of Bruce's enemies. Like, Bruce has been Professor Hulk during the blip. He's probably been acting as a pretty effective hero during that time, and now he's stuck in human form again, or he is in human form while he's healing. His enemies might think, wait, maybe we can kill him now. Maybe that's what this is.
It could also be pure coincidence. Unlikely, but
nothing's ever coincidence.
True.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that is. But I think that clip perfectly gave the vibe that the show's probably going to be, of lots of conversations and comedy, and then something that snaps you back out and goes, remember, this is superhero world where shit happens.
Yeah. This ain't just a walk in a park.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, now my brain has remembered we can move on.
There was new Marvel content this week.
There was.
for the first time in a little while.
Yeah, actually, yeah. We got the Groot miniseries finally.
We did the 5 I Am Groot shorts,
which were, I would say they're like what, 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes each.
No,
Well,
waffle.
I swear they were like 5.
They're listed as 6 minutes each, but it's literally 3
Oh yeah, the
minutes of
credits.
credits.
I forget.
They're each like.
That's
3
why I was
minutes
like 5. Okay, yeah. So, but I mean, they're shorts. They're not an amazing TV series. They're not like they're not meant to be anything more than just a funny little scene.
Here's my opinion.
Okay.
They should have been put on YouTube for anyone to view completely free as fun little things.
I mean, they'll end up on YouTube. Yeah, and I mean they'll probably get posted on socials and stuff anyway by Disney.
Yeah.
They're a fun little like animation thing.
I mean, they're cute. Jenna was half watching it over my shoulder and heard Groot make a noise, looked over. Oh.
It's just they're just playing off the fact that everyone loves Groot and everyone thinks Groot's real cute. Each one I feel had a funny moment in it, and a bit of a laugh.
All very well animated.
Yeah, I loved there was a little cameo from Rocket.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a cool like payoff in the end of them, I guess.
I also think so. Back in the old days, like phase 2 and 3, they used to do shorts all the time.
There were extras on DVDs.
Yeah, and they were extras on DVDs. They were put out on YouTube, and they were just fun, weird little things that sometimes gave a little bit of thing. Most of the time meant nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think this is just them trying to get back into that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's because something a lot of the like, especially the younger generation now, don't remember like how much extra content used to be on DVDs and Blu-rays. And one that comes to mind all the time is Harry Potter. You used to have to like pick a shop and go through shops and stuff on the DVD disc to find like the outtakes or find like fun little extra stuff. That all got lost when we went to streaming.
Yeah.
Because people stopped buying DVDs, so they had nowhere to put that stuff. And I think this is what you're saying. Like, it's a fun way for them to get back into doing that, and they can just put it on Disney Plus, and people can enjoy it.
Also, let's remember, short form content is booming at the moment.
Yeah.
You are delusional if you don't think Disney wants some little loser to download all of them, steal all of them, pirate all of them, cut them up into 1-minute segments and put them on TikTok.
Well, it's like, how many times have you seen like the
entire TV shows?
Well,
on TikTok.
I was going to say, how many times have you seen like the scenes from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when Groot's like, this button, no, not that button. And then people always take the little Groot, like baby Groot clips because they find it adorable. Why would they not do this? Like, they know people love baby Groot.
They gave us plenty of moments that could get memed.
Yeah, and it's just like, have some fun with it. So hopefully do more of this. I'm down for them to do more of this sort of
They're
thing.
fun little things. I'll be honest, at first when I realised they'd drop, I was like, oh, damn, I need to watch these. So I thought it was going to be 15-minute long things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch them again.
No.
I can hardly remember them now. They gave me a little chuckle.
Yeah. If anything, they sort of like teased a little bit of what the Guardians have been doing, like bouncing from planet to planet sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was still before Infinity War because it was still Baby Groot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true.
It's just kind of him vibing.
Yeah.
It's just it's the shenanigans that we saw a little bit.
Yeah.
Baby Groot, and it's just like, here is 5 very short versions of Baby Groot being fucking mischievous.
Yeah. And yeah.
I mean,
overall enjoyable.
Yeah. Very good, very nice.
Really good, very nice.
Would watch again. But wouldn't actually.
I know what you mean. Would recommend.
And this brings us on to the final
episode of Cutscene.
The final battle in our Superhero Showdown bracket.
Yes. Many weeks have led to this.
Going on for like 16 weeks. 1,
Yeah,
2,
something
3,
like that.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We missed a week. This is week 16 of this bracket.
Sheesh. It's been good. It's been a fun little like thing we've had going on.
We whittled it down. I'm going to give us 16 original
Mm.
contestants. The 4 Marvel heroes: Hercules, Luke Cage, Blade, and Nightcrawler. The 4 Marvel villains: Doctor Doom, Abomination, Magneto, Green Goblin. DC heroes: Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, Aquaman, Black Lightning. DC villains: Deathstroke, Scarecrow, Deadshot, Captain Cold. There are 16 competitors.
Yes.
That have been going in 1v1s to get us down to this point.
Yes.
Hero versus villain.
Yes.
Good versus evil. DC versus Marvel.
Yes.
Which is very interesting to me.
Yeah, I like
we set it up to be a hero and a villain in the final.
Yeah.
Not worried about where they came from, but we still managed to get DC versus
I know,
Marvel.
right? It could have very easily been DC versus DC or Marvel versus Marvel.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, in the final, like the hero final and the villain final, we had one because of the way I set it up.
Yeah, so.
But the final is Martian Manhunter versus Abomination.
Mm-hmm.
The same rules as all tournament. They are bloodlusted. They are in a completely neutral environment. And they only have what they would normally have on them, which for these two doesn't really make any difference because these guys don't have any equipment. Which, you never know, might be why they've got so far, because they don't need equipment.
Yes, that's probably actually true. Raw power.
I kind of realised, probably in the quarterfinals, so not last round, the round before. This was where we were probably going to end up.
Yeah, probably similar point, I think, or just after. Like, I think I know where this is going.
I was pretty confident that Abomination was going to make it to the final out of the villains once it beat Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And Martian Manhunter is very strong.
Yeah.
I really don't know which way to go here.
So, I very briefly...
Yeah, I was about to say, you said you were going to do research, but then Ross grabbed you by the balls. So do you even remember that you were going to do research?
Yes, while I was having my dinner.
So my man said dinner was 5 to 10 minutes late. What he meant was, shit, I forgot to do research.
So I briefly re-looked over like their powers and abilities and stuff to kind of refresh my mind. As we've said every time we've had Martian Manhunter, his only weakness is fire. Abomination doesn't make fire. Martian Manhunter can shapeshift his body to like Kai phase, so attacks go through him.
Yeah.
He can change his body to be like almost indestructible to strengthen him. Like he can at will change his matter and being like into whatever he needs. I don't see how Abomination beats that.
Yeah.
Which is the issue.
Let me guess. You also don't understand how Abomination can lose.
All I know is Abomination, isn't he more hungry for being powerful, which turns into being his weakness?
Yeah, essentially.
So it's like, I feel like Martian Manhunter's smart enough to figure out, oh, you've just got to like beat Abomination but at himself in a way.
Yeah. He just kind of has to wait him out. And here's the thing, everyone else that Abomination's fought physically couldn't wait him out.
No.
Martian Manhunter probably can.
Yeah, just purely by like being able to change his physical being.
Yeah. And this is what we've always said. Up until now, it's come up to strength and stamina. Abomination on raw strength probably has Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
But Martian Manhunter can avoid being hit for long enough to let his stamina be the deciding factor.
Yep.
Like, to put it in boxing terms, yes, Mike Tyson can knock me out with one punch.
But if he can't hit you,
he can only throw them punches for so long. So and don't get me wrong, I'm not good enough to do this, but theoretically, if you could avoid him hitting you for long enough, he wouldn't have enough gas left to be able to throw the punch to knock you out.
That's how you beat. Like it's in boxing, it's how you beat heavyweights. Is people will just wait for them to wear themselves out, and then go in after. And I agree. Like Abomination's only attack. Like he's only gonna punch you or try to rip you in half or whatnot. Martian Manhunter can kind of get around that stuff.
Yeah, and we've also got to remember, people are bloodlusted in this.
Yeah.
There is a long history of people are more dangerous when they are a villain than as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So if Martian Manhunter's bloodlusted, he has none of his morals, which puts him more on the villainous side because he's willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Ergo is more powerful, more deadly. I don't know if it would kill Abomination, but there would be nothing stopping Martian Manhunter phasing inside Abomination and then just rapidly expanding it.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
There's so many ways, because he can shapeshift into anything he can need. Like he's gonna find ways to hurt Abomination and do enough damage to him and kind of wait out the stamina. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight at all. I think it would definitely be like a hard fight for Martian Manhunter, but I think not so hard that like he's gonna like. It's one of those. It's like a tough fight, but he's still gonna win, like not easily but convincingly.
Yeah, I agree. I do think Martian Manhunter is indeed our winner.
Yes, he is our Superhero Showdown champion.
He's our first ever Superhero Showdown champion. Which means Hori now needs to go and edit up a picture of Martian Manhunter holding a belt with the Cutscene Convos logo on WWE.
Just stood on Abomination's body.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
But that does now mean, are we restarting a bracket next week, or are we having a week break and then give us time to figure a new bracket out?
It really depends how much content we have.
Okay. Depends how She-Hulk goes.
Yeah. So maybe start thinking of your
new heroes.
Do you reckon you can squeeze out 16?
I'll do a bigger bracket this time.
Yeah, this one lasted 16 weeks. If we double it, I think it more than doubles how long it will take. So we'll probably be good till like next year.
I was going to say, do you know what we should do? We should wait till September.
Okay.
It's the September Showdown. And it starts in September.
What, you mean like take 2 weeks of a break?
Yeah. Start it in September with like 60, what would be 32 in total
32,
people?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'll call it Superhero September Showdown.
Okay, so what we'll do is,
start it in September.
Over the next 2 weeks, instead of having an actual Superhero Showdown, we will discuss what kind of rules we want to put in place. And it also gives people 3 weeks worth of comments to put down anyone they want to have involved in the bracket.
Yes.
And any rules they think should be included in the bracket.
Yes, should there be environmental, like, I don't know, influence?
Does the person with the lower seeding always get a preferential environment?
Yeah.
And maybe, how do people want us to seed it? Do they want us to seed it like I have, where Marvel heroes, DC heroes, Marvel villains, DC villains are all separated? Or do they just want heroes and villains seeded? Or do they just want one big seeding? We have options.
We do.
If you do want any characters included, write them down in the comment. Write down who the character is, what version of the character you want. Don't just go Iron Man. Tell me if you want Iron Man MCU, or Iron Man Comic 616, or Iron Man Comic
or Supreme Iron Man.
N010. Yeah, Supreme Iron Man. Tell us which version of the character you want. If you don't say what version, I'm going to assume you want the standard comic version.
Yeah.
I'm not going to assume film versions.
Unless you say film version, it will be standard comic version.
And if anyone says Batman, it's fine. He can go in, but no prep time is going to be one of the rules, and he's going to get smoked first round. Probably.
Depends who he's against.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. No Superhero Showdown for the next 2 weeks. We'll work out some rules. We'll put together a big boy bracket to kick off in September.
I'm gonna put one of my villains is gonna be Thug number 1.
You know what I've just realised? Sorry, doing quick maths.
Oh, quick maths.
If the bracket takes 32 episodes, which I think it would, but don't quote me.
No, it'd take. Oh wait, no, it'd take more than that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll say 32 just for argument, but I think it might be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Our first episode with it is going to be episode 32, which means we would go all the way to episode 64 with one bracket.
Nice.
And that one you would definitely have to make one of them pictures for.
Oh, we probably have to make a bracket picture for.
Yeah, we might have to have some fun with this.
Yeah.
God
sure.
damn it, Hori. Why can't we ever half-arse anything? But I think that about wraps it up from us.
Yes, this is the business section now.
Yeah, this is the business section. I forgot to actually put it.
I actually titled when I do the segments on the main episode on YouTube.
I saw.
Had to name this segment the business meeting.
So Hori's gonna run away and get guests.
Try. I actually don't know how many people in KCP are strong Marvel fans. Or
Hori is gonna go and secure us an interview with Amon Delaney and.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head out to the Skywalker Ranch and
we were gonna get Ezra Miller on, but then he threatened to stab us.
Bro,
that is a joke. He did not do that. We've not spoken to him. Protect ourselves from a little bit of libel there. But yeah, thanks as always for hanging out. It's been episode 29. Next week will be episode 30. We will officially have more episodes on Hori's age.
Bruh. We've passed that a while ago. A bit more of a palatable episode this one. Only an hour long. Just over an hour.
Yeah, we finally been able to bring it back down because there's not as much stuff to go over.
San Diego Comic-Con has passed. News has cooled off a bit. So
we'll probably be back to regularly scheduled kind of hour and 15-minute episodes next week. Character profile.
Till probably D23.
Breaking down the content. Yeah. D23 is probably going to be our next big old spike in what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you as always. Don't forget to subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. And we will catch you next week.
See you next week.